Definitely have a bit of grudge against them. Obviously, I was replaced after spring, and I felt like I did decently well with Isles. So I think it'll be a fun match for sure. I'm definitely really excited to play against them, and hopefully we come out on top.
It's an advantage for Zven.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you're hoping that they.
Yeah.
Are active.
Boom.
And Raz, Tomo's not a very bombastic personality.
Yeah.
You could say that.
There's a bit there for anger translator for what Tomo wanted to get back at 100
That
Thieves.
is true.
Because that is the angriest I've ever heard Tomo.
Yes.
That was peak revenge and rage.
That was unjustified. But it's business. He does caveat it with the business part, but you know what he really felt in. I mean, going into game one, that has to be the best feeling. You go up against an organization that benches you and you actually come out incredibly strong. And that Baron fight too was a big turning point for 100 Thieves too.
Yeah. Going into this draft, though, we see some changes already. Vi banned out against River just because of what he can do with that champ, but both Azir and MF taken off the board on Dig's side instead of the Jax Kaisa of game one.
That's a really good call out, knowing the game one adaptations. I think game one for Dig, they got trapped a little bit into essentially 3 losing lanes with a Lillia, which is really difficult to execute. The lane swap also didn't let him accelerate, so it was just honestly a very well-played game by 100 Thieves, aside from the shenanigans that happened around the Baron that ended up ending it with the Dig Baron throw. But I think they should be feeling pretty good about their prep and execution in game one.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me was reiterating how when Dig did end up swapping back off of their own reset at around 6 minutes, it was 100 Thieves that were actually responding and trading up. As we see Lillia and Smolder coming through, that could potentially be a Smolder mid. I'm guessing it's going for Tomo.
That's a Tomo
because
Smolder.
Tomo is the Smolder guy.
Exactly.
He's the first to play it in LCS, and he loves that champ. He said last week he wants to play it on stage with 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and so like that's the craziest thing about all of this. There's a few players that will still be willing to pick Smolder in the LCS. A few of them are the best Smolders, which is both Tomo and Jan. And so it's great to be able to see that. Usually you'd see an Ezreal Corki at this stage for 100 Thieves, but right now they're going to be playing heavily around Tomo. So getting a good front line would be incredibly important.
And I'm also curious to see, obviously, Zeri is additionally a flex, but we've seen Jensen piloting that more often than not for Dig. And then I do want to remind people, Smolder actually can be a triple flex. I actually quite like Smolder mid. We've seen Smolder mid and Smolder top over in LCK and in the LPL, so that's something to watch out. But we see the Jax already locked in for Sniper, so he's definitely not going to be taking Smolder.
And I really want to see how the actual lane matchups play out in this game, because I think in game one, when 100 Thieves were the ones that had the Renekton and the Azir and the Misfortune, and they could push all 3 lanes, they then were able to win them. But now that Dignitas has the Renekton on their side, that they essentially blind-picked Smolder, they're not setting up their champion select to win lanes, but if they could then win lanes on top of that, I think the series would be done.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know you mentioned the Smolder being a triflex. Overall, I expect it to not be a top lane or a solo lane, just simply because of how lane swaps have gone throughout the split. It's going to be tough to be able to survive in that circumstance. It's dig holes. I was not prepared for that one.
I need to see this again.
I was not prepared for that.
Was that a pro dig side?
Guys, if you're out there in Twitch chat, screenshot that, send it to us. I need to look at that poster again. That really changed my entire... That did have their faces on it.
It's Dig season.
We love that.
Dig hole season.
I appreciate that guy. Actually, me and Emily got to talk to him a little bit during the USA versus Canada
match.
Yeah. So that guy's a brother out there.
He's really nice.
He's great. So back to the draft. Let's head straight into it.
Yeah, I mean, both Rel and Leona taken away from Isles, and then on the opposite side, Kaisa and Nautilus taken out. So we'll see what 100 Thieves want for their R4 pick.
If they go max disrespect, they'll pick Alistair here. because it's the last engaged support, and they'll say, we can beat you in lane with anything. But it would be great for team fighting.
Yeah, and they could just end up swapping. They were just a far superior
Rakan.
team in a swap anyways, and ends up, you're right, being a Rakan. But that does mean that they're holding 5 pick for mid lane for Quid. Really interested to see what he has cooking there.
Which is smart. I mean, I think when this team was doing so well in spring, we already talked about the Quid Jensen matchup. You want to make sure that he has, if not a hard counter pick, then something he's super comfortable on in lane. We see the Kalista Renata coming out. So maybe that has guaranteed the swap from 100 Thieves.
It's very likely. And when I was looking at this composition for Dignitas last split, I mean last game, I was like, Dignitas I feel like has been most successful when they can play through Zven and Isles. And so I really wanted to see them playing through them heavily, and now that you have a Kalista Renata, it's nice to see it.
And they were essentially dared to do so by the Smolder blind, but now that they've done Kalista Renata, we get Xayah Rakan, which even though it doesn't win lane, can kind of hold its own against anything, and that's what's going to get put to the test here, Emily.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't think Xayah is in a great spot right now, but we do see a few other ADCs being taken off the table. We will see if Dig will be able to come back with this composition, or if 100 Thieves will be able to take it. Casters, take it away. Let us know what you think about the draft.
All right, thank you very much, Lounge. And now, gentlemen, I'm going to redirect that one over to you. How are we feeling about this draft compared to the first one?
I think it's a good change for Dig. They said, we were waiting around all game last game, so we're not going to wait around this game. Slam Zven onto the Kalista, the OG Niels Zven coming in, trying to have some lane domination here with Kalista Renata, and they're the ones who take away the Renekton this time. You know, they're making changes to try and make sure the early game is not the same as last game, which is what you need in this series. They really have to make some big changes in gameplay as well.
And honestly, just the fact that we have River on Lillia and we have Quid on the Dragon here scaling up, I feel like I like that a lot more for Dignitas because it's taking them off playmakers. Like, yes, Lillia can theoretically later on Q flash and get a bunch of people, whatever, but I don't think that he has the ability to be proactive on this in the same way that he did on the Viego. And likewise, Quid on the Azir, he could make plays happen. He could get in there and shuffle someone and he could start something up. Yeah. You can't do that in the same way on the Smolder. So I do like the draft some more for Dig. I want to see, you know, are we going to get standard 2v2 lanes? It looks like just already based on the spread on the map, we are. This could be a pretty tough early lane for Tomo and Eyla. Rakan already, you know, not known as a strong early laner. Yeah. And now you're going up against Renata Kalista, which is a really strong 2v2.
All right, as we're waiting for the minions to spawn, we got Raz standing by for an interview with Coach Mabry.
That's right, I got Coach Mabry here. Just a quick response coming into Game 2. Reaction to Game 1 was a little tough out there.
Yeah, I think they did a good job in the game 1 reading the swap level 1. That was like our plan going into it. And even though that happened, I think it still was going pretty well for us. The jungler got pretty, our jungler got pretty ahead. But once they were able to dive top lane and we weren't able to dive bot, both their AD and top laner got really ahead, and I think it was hard to play after that.
And a quick thing on the Zeri mid, just because now we're seeing new patch, but you're still going towards double AD carry comps.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like too much change with the nerfs, so.
Sounds good to me, and
right.
We're going to go straight into the game. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Oh, so it is going to be a lane swap. So 100 Thieves are going to initiate the lane swap. This is what I was wondering is when they were spread out, you know, line of scrimmage, I was pretty surprised because Xayah Rakan, I think, would really struggle against the Kalista Renata in the early laning, so they want to at least get some early levels here. Quid is just trading so aggressively. Jensen's going to have to flash or he's dead.
Yeah, Quid got him! 1 minute and 54 seconds into game number 2 of 100 Thieves versus Dignitas. Jensen's back in the spawn platform and Quid put him there.
Just the matchup, level 1, you know, you just started auto-attacking him.
The guaranteed level 1 first blood solo kill baked into the
I mean, you got to beware that level 1 Smolder power spike.
This is like when you hear about from scrims and you hear about someone saying, well, he started hitting me, so I had to hit him back. You know, if I don't hit him, I'm going to lose.
And it's not complicated. You saw it there in the replay. He sidesteps one Zeri Q. It's like, you can dot. He sidestepped one of the burst shots, and then Jensen can't get out. And coaching staff is also hands in the air.
And I mean, when you're fighting him level 1, like the Q from Smolder is a significant amount of damage that you're weaving in there. You got multiple Qs out as well, so that is a lot of extra damage. Now the Smolder gets a freebie to start this game off in what is going to be a scaling mid lane matchup. He's going to be so happy about that.
Is this a good time to remind Dignitas that we're on a new patch with some buffs to some mages, possibly?
Mayhaps.
I think so.
Maybe. We'll see, though. Zeri, of course, again, you can have some scaling later on. We'll see, though, because no flashes in mid lane might make for some more interesting mid lane passes, and lane swaps sometimes will get, you know, the top laners after they get pushed out, or junglers or supports or something. Currently, though, Eyla here, hovering sniper.
Sniper having fun.
Yeah. Top laners and lane swaps.
The
It's
picture of fun.
pure, unfiltered joy.
I love how he just has to accept that he just has to watch every one of these minions die. Because if you walk up to actually try to CS those, you just die.
Oh, yeah, you're
so
dead.
you can basically only do it when you have your Q to jump away after last hitting one minion, or your E to walk up and last hit a minion.
Yeah. So once every 10 seconds, you get to use an ability and go in.
Yep.
Not bad.
I love this. This is our featured matchup of the day, everybody.
Incredible.
Top laners.
Top
and
gap.
Swaps.
He's got triple his CS.
Woohoo!
That's more than triple his CS now.
Support diff, baby. Eyla down here, helping him out. Meanwhile, let's see if there's going to be any deviation on the first recall for River here. Faded Ashes picked up by the Lillia, coming down mid lane, trying to get some wards here around mid lane. Again, reminder that there might be more spice in this lane swap than usual, with both mid laners going ham level 1 and blowing their flashes. Of course, that is the side where the ward is, so River immediately finds it.
Licorice, you know, because there is not anyone really here to pressure, even if the Rakan was there, the reason the Rakan's covering bot is because the Rakan can't pressure top, right? So this is not, you know, really an aggressive early support. So Licorice is going to be able to likely get more of this farm. Of course, you know, they did base, so, you know, we will see the sniper pick up that wave and try to push it out, so he'll pick up a decent amount of farm. But Licorice is going to be pretty uncontested on a lot of that CS up on top lane, since he was just in an isolated 1v1 and not getting as heavily pressured by just that Xayah alone. Ooh, and that's actually nice. He actually gets a stop on Tomo's recall. So Tomo is now dead and is not going to be able to pressure him at all. And this does get a little bit awkward for him now.
Yeah, even though 100 Thieves got that first blood, the gold between the teams is even, as Dignitas about to lose their mid laner again if he ain't careful. Jensen hops over the wall, was slowed down by the snot bubbles, so had to make a quick escape to prevent any further damage, with River showing up as a handshake from Isles brings Sniper a little bit closer to the minions, and just as you predicted, Mr. Azael, hop back away and leave.
Yep.
We also have the price of the lane swap at 3 turret plates right now, doing a lot of that gold difference that you're talking about as far as making up for the kill. So the mining that is going on the bottom side of the map here by the Kalista plus Renata is actually going quite well for them. Meanwhile, we do have to also keep our eyes on the stacks of the mid Smolder.
Not a lot.
It is nice and safe in mid lane, and especially when you get the bonus of a first blood really early on. And Quid, not only is he kind of rich with the first blood and get his early tier stacking up, but also stacking his dragon stacks very well.
Yeah, he's stacking his dragon stacks really well. You know, this is I'm a Smolder enthusiast. Like I play Smolder mid sometimes. One of the most annoying times is sometimes when people just only attack the minions and won't trade with you at all, because you get most of your stacks, you know, through these kind of aggressive trades, and when you're going back and forth, you can get so many stacks to really accelerate you. Even if you're perfectly, you know, CSing, you're not going to get to the really fast numbers. So the fact that Jensen was actually willing to scrap with Quid is even better for Quid, because that's accelerating his stacks, right? Like having 50 almost this early on is so nice.
Okay, River coming topside, looking for Licorice. Sniper leaps forward, but the Croc does have his ulti. Sniper can tell no such tale, but need a little bit more EXP to hit level 6 here on the Jax. Licorice may still die here, but a slice and dice gets him away. Not far enough, though. Sniper picks up the kill. 100 Thieves is 2-0 on the kill count as Jensen tries to get away from Mom back in mid, and Quid keeps the pressure going, while bot side, it's Zven and Isles still controlling the tempo in the 2v2.
And that was a good at taking advantage of a timing here for River. the big wave getting pushed in. Licorice trying to get that one into tower, and so really good timing for River to go for that gank, even with the level disadvantage.
Okay, they want to bring Spica down bottom to make the 3v2 dive. Eyla staying alive for now. Tomo has his ulti, and that's why they wanted to focus Eyla down first, because Xayah can drop the aggro and get away. Spica now just going to farm up the Gromp. Dignitas is out of minions, so they don't want to overextend, end up feeding into a dive. Spica just going to try to finish off this jungle camp as the next wave is about to crash into the turrets. Tomo still defending for now. Eyla now going to tick level 5, gets a little bit more HP from that one, and Dignitas backs away.
Yeah, River there to cover. They're not going to look for a redive. Jensen again pushed back, but this is what I'm talking about. We just checked in. He was not even at 50 stacks. Now he's almost at 70. Like, this is actually ridiculous because Jensen is just trading with them. You know, and Quid is in this position of power now where he can take any trade. So he's just going to walk at Jensen over and over, spam trade queues. As long as it's even close to an even trade in health, it is so positive for Smolder because you're getting way more out of it. This could very well be one of these Smolder games where we're setting records for the LCS as far as, you know, the pacing. Because we are really early. He's already got that 75 stacks that he's just about to hit. When he gets to 125 early, that's where it really starts to accelerate, and you can start picking up, you know, all 6 stacks from every wave and things like this, and then start farming the Raptors, start farming enemy Raptors, and really going crazy.
That's why I like, you know, Eyla coming out here, as well as the extra control ward there up in the brush that's by the Void Grub River entrance. So they're keeping him nice and safe as he had such a great start to the game. Just allow him to keep on stacking and keep on moving towards their win conditions here. Top side again, though. River after Krugs will be sniffing around, and Licorice trying to suss out where he is with his little Tri-Brush ward.
Yeah, it's also interesting. Quid looks like he is just going for the Triforce Mormana build, so he's basically just playing Corki style build. Yeah. There's a lot of different Smolder builds that you do see. Some people are still more doing, you know, Essence Reaver Rush. You do see some Shojin Rush or even Essence Reaver into Shojin. Triforce, really strong item on the champion now, though, and I do think you want to have some HP on this champion. You want to be able to really scrap with people. Yeah. You don't want to be super fragile because you have such good mobility. You just have to make sure that you're at least tanky enough that you're not going to get 100 to 0'd in one little stun.
Yeah, it should be pretty hard for Dig to actually pin down Quid later on because your mobility is so good. I mean, they can like flash Renekton stun him maybe, but that is the only real like point and click that they have.
One thing I will say is that there's no cleanses over on the 100 Thieves side, so, you know, if you can make them fight you in a corridor, if Isles can get a really good hostile takeover, that can be difficult. You know, even if you don't hit Tomo or Quid, because like, Tomo ults it and Quid flies away, well, they're not attacking, right? And that can create that space that maybe opens up an opportunity for Dignitas to win the fight. Yeah, I like Dig. They're already feeling the pressure of like, what do we do once Quid gets rapid fire cannon? Like, how do we close that distance? how do we pin down this Smolder? And the options are not great for them. So they're definitely going to have to create their own opportunities. Yeah, the clock is ticking. So you got to create your own opportunities by some creative vision plays, some creative moves for yourselves. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves doing a good job keeping the game steady.
And I feel like it's really important for 100 Thieves that Quid specifically is doing so well, because when you look at the comp from Dignitas, Isaac, you alluded to it a little bit already, but with Isles and Spica just able to vomit their entire kits forward, you will have a hard time just 5v5 running your heads into these guys. Yeah. But Smolder from 5,000 yards away isn't really going to care if he's just chewing on them over and over again.
Yep, exactly. Spamming out those W's, and like Kobe said, once you get the rapid fire, the poke starts to get really annoying, where every single time he has his rapid fire proc ready, it's a Sheen proc, it's a rapid fire proc, it's the Q damage, and when you're posting 225, then all of a sudden it's the burn, it's the splash, it's all of this stuff that becomes really, really annoying to deal with, and it kind of forces you to deal with Smolder, right? Smolder just keeps poking and prodding away at you, and all of a sudden you're getting whittled down, and you either have to back off or you have to hard engage. You know, he forces action from an advantageous spot for him.
What's going on the bottom here? Isles is poking around, but looks like they don't want to mess around.
He's having a good time. Top side, maybe not as much of a good time here as Sniper popping the counter-strike there, forcing Licorice back just a little bit, but I don't really think either of them's going to full send this. I mean, maybe they will. Could get a little bit more wild than I'm expecting, but back in mid, Quid, 115 out of 125, 10 more, and he's got that second evolution. It'll be so important for speeding up that farm even faster.
So early in the game, and look, it just keeps on dropping off more here on Jensen. Let's see it. Tier is also stacking quickly. Yep. I mean, everything.
I mean, this is kind of just the dream, right? Because he's even being able to prep all these minions to get the Q stacks for every one with the Q splash because he can't be pressured because he is very far ahead.
I will say, thankfully for Dig, they did get the early dragon pretty quickly, and now they're going to be able to burn through this one. Big benefits of Brand always, plus you have a Kalista, so should be pretty easy for them to control this dragon stacking and kind of keep that as their hope.
Yeah, they've got that going on, but now they got to be a little bit careful. Zven gets away from River and Eyla as Tomo still fighting with Spica and Isles. You saw Quid summon in Mom right there. Isles about 40% HP, gonna try to get away from it. Another sneeze hits him, he's pulled to safety, but now it's a problem for the AD carry. Sven's gonna get collapsed on. The blooming blows take him low. River grabs another one back on Isles as Spica has to flash just not to be the third dead body. It's a 4-0 game for 100 Thieves.
And 100 Thieves played that so well. The early force on the cleanse, the flash from Zven, so when he comes back in to actually pull Isles out with the ulti, Eyla is waiting for him, anticipated where he would be pathing to do that. Instead of just getting the support, they get them both. Really well done.
Beautiful pincer from the 100 Thieves. Even though Dragon number 2 goes over, they stay focused on the pressure that they want to create. Look at this. Now you're talking about River flashes over, Eyla jumps to him, boom, 2 for 1. And they had the mid priority of the Smolder leaking through, not allowing an escape for the other Dig members. And Zven knows it. Even though they got the objective, their hopes of stacking the dragons just dropped. It just plummeted so hard because they're not going to have the items to actually win those fights. And the next ones that come up are going to be really difficult for them to deal with. Guess what? Smolder's got a Trinity Force already. It's completed now.
All right, well, they're looking for a sniper potentially here. If he doesn't, he spots it now, but we'll see if he's going to get that Counter-Strike up in time.
Okay, Sniper. How are we going to play these?
They're waiting for the W. Renekton has it in 1 second.
Waiting a long time,
unfortunately for Dignitas, River is going to show up in just about that same amount of time as Licorice has to try to get away, and Sniper and River will clear out the wave and stay safe.
Yeah, it seemed like they weren't confident to just try to throw out the Seer stun and try to hit it that way. They wanted to wait for that Renekton stun, but he used it on the trade right before the wave crashed, which meant they had a long time to wait, and it gave 100 Thieves more than enough time to respond. You know, if you telegraph a dive like that, it's really hard to make it happen.
It's one of the biggest strengths of Lillia because of the passive, and you're already farming all these camps. You're just stacking it up, so you're very quick to answer plays. If your opponents wait around, then you can be there for counters very, very often, and it can be devastating. And now, Sniper even...
Ooh, Sniper may have taken the bait. He jumps in after Licorice, flashing away after landing the stun on the Renekton. If Spica had the opportunity to get a spell down on him, he would have been toast, but it does create enough space for 100 Thieves to secure themselves the Herald. They already forced Isles to flash just a minute ago, so now it's impossible for Dignitas to challenge for this. 100 Thieves going to pick up that neutral.
Yeah, and Licorice had been coming out on top in this head-to-head, you know, throughout their time against each other. Hasn't been a lot of time because Licorice was obviously out of the league for a little bit after Golden Guardians did go away. But in game number 1, obviously 100 Thieves did come out on top. And you can see Sniper has just been playing this matchup so aggressively. He's constantly leap striking in. He wants to trade. He wants to take these fights. He's feeling confident about how that matchup is going to go.
Yeah, and those stats that series is from, I mean, that was so early in the season. That was pre-Tomo.
Pre-Tomo.
It was that was a different timeline then. And 100 Thieves really were struggling in general during that time. So this is a completely different look for them. And it's one of the exciting things that really happened in the LCS was some of our bottom teams had really good substitutions later that completely changed the game. You know, not just them, but also Boogie going in and giving a lot of hope there. But 100 Thieves, I mean, honestly, this is just looking so good for them, and it looks like they'll be able to chunk this tower so low that it's just one auto away, free money there, and now the map is open.
He's taking
now
the bot.
Drive home.
He's going bot. He wants another charge. If they can actually push them back, he might potentially be able to get one, but Jensen is down there, and the Herald is going to be really low.
This is efficiency right here. Get the Herald down bottom. You could block the Zeri Qs, escort this Herald up.
If it gets another charge, that's crazy value.
It's fine.
Walk it in. Walk it in. Oh,
Defend
no!
it.
No! Well, I wasn't going to get the charge anyway because it already lost its
low.
momentum walking into the river. It ran out of gas. but it still stumbled into this lane, so that's good enough. Sniper goes in, River right beside him. They want some damage to Jensen, but they aren't going to find it. Sniper staying alive for an extra second, but Licorice is ready to follow it up, but now the reinforcements for 100 Thieves may just kill Licorice instead. The zapping going to do enough damage, and Sniper has the counter-strike yet again. That's the first kill of the fight going over to 100 Thieves. Dignitas, their bottom lane duo, finally arrives, but the fight's already done. The dust is already settled. It's already time for Licorice's funeral.
Yeah, Dig thought that they had caught Sniper as he went in there. Licorice TP's in, but Eyla defends him. Double shield, the summoner heal, everything keeps him alive. Because it looks like when Sniper jumps in here, he leap strikes forward, takes a tower shot, the TP's behind him. He looks like he's cooked.
He does, but he is not. It's a true bait. Haha. Even with the flash through, like you're saying, they're able to peel for him. Ayla's able to get the shield on. They put him to sleep. And then he has the confidence. Oh, the team is leaving me the kill on the Renekton as well. Goes up, finishes it with his leap strike. Licorice knows. This game, it just feels so overwhelming in the favor of 100 Thieves. And after the way that game number 1 went, it's giving me pause for the rest of the series here. Things are looking dire for Dignitas already.
What is the next play for Dignitas? I have to wonder because, again, game number 1, it felt like they just didn't have a lot of moves to make. Now here in game number 2, nearly getting enough there on the river, but again, close just isn't going to cut it as the Lillia can escape with the use of the flash. Maybe that will give Dig an opportunity to make a play on him again. But when I look at Dignitas' comp, they're really good at counter-engage. Brand is great if you try to jump on him and can't instantly kill him. Beautiful counter-engage from Renata. Zven also having really good counter-engage, but directly engaging themselves is going to feel a lot tougher.
Yeah, engaging themselves is tough, but like we've been kind of highlighting, if you are outranged or start to get poked down, that's kind of the option that you have left. The only option that you have left. Have to just go for it. Quid here has his Muramana transformed on the Smolder at 2:05, so we are very close to peak Smolder gameplay coming through as well. And Dignitas, with the hopes of their dragon stacking already dashed, now they're just trying to create surprise plays, you know, and picks, and look for any sort of pockets of vision that they can try and use to retake some semblance of control in this game.
Yeah, and you know, obviously it is a tough situation for Dig, and they've been in a bit of a tough situation for a while now. You know, Zven had a pretty sad tweet after their last series last week, and they, I really think, more than anything, just need to rebuild some confidence, and maybe this could be something to do it.
I think Sniper's pretty confident in this situation. Licorice is going to burst him right on back, though. Sniper flashing away to stay alive. Licorice nearly outplays it, but Mom's a big old dragon, and she's dragging Licorice straight back to the spawn platform.
There's 2 snipers on this team. Quid's one of them.
Okay, does that really... She's as wide as the lane.
That's a snipe, okay? That was a snipe. Right down the middle there. Quid, what can he do?
A sniper with some buckshot.
Yeah. The target's 5 feet away. Show me what you can do. 6-0
losing the
game.
fight. He didn't even call his own mom. He called his friend to get his...
Yeah, call your friend to call his mom to come pick you up and get you out of there. Man, Quid on this Smolder, though. 226 stacks. There you go. 20 minutes and 37 seconds into the game. He is fully stacked up on the Dragon training as Jensen is just in a real bad spot. But luckily, he is Zeri, so he can even get away from those types of plays. Yes, sir. Very fun ability.
Yeah, gets out of there, no problem. But they need something to get going for them to really try to rebuild some confidence. This is a team that I think has been struggling a bit with confidence. They have a lot of veterans, but they've been struggling in scrims. There's been a lot of talk. And some of the wins that they were really expecting to be those kind of easy wins, they lost against Shopify. They really struggled against Immortals. And honestly, Immortals kind of had to throw that series for them to be able to win it.
Yeah.
So I do think, Dig is really in need of something to kind of ignite this team. Some big play. Someone needs to step up to try to turn this series around, because otherwise it is feeling so dominated by 100 Thieves, and they're kind of just in cruise control right now.
Yeah, I don't think 100 Thieves are going to give it to them in any way, shape, or form, because this team is a team transformed. It's kind of the opposite trajectory there. 100 Thieves now, I'm very excited for their ascent in playoffs. starting here with a very confident series, you know, making player changes, but also just the way that they've been playing. Plus, it feels like it should be a good patch for 100 Thieves as well. You know, we're seeing 5 bans against them. I've been hearing, you know, rumors of Skarner even possibly coming back. Like, there's all types of possibilities. You know, Flowers perks up at the mention of Skarner, but I really do think this is going to be a very interesting playoffs for 100 Thieves, and excited to see if step number 1 they can finish off this series, but where they will go after that as well.
All right, you've got the Sterix gauge completed for Licorice, so considering he is the tankiest one on the team, even though there is no dedicated tank on the Dignitas side, he should hopefully be able to survive just a little bit longer on the front line of these fights. But 100 Thieves continuing their push down mid lane now. You can see the Zeal in the inventory for Quid. It will be that rapid fire cannon coming out next as Spica tries to get away. Hostile takeover ain't gonna get a whole lot, but Quid's gonna get Isles. 100 Thieves already found one, and they might look to make it even more. Flash away from Spica, just trying to survive, but he can't stay alive. Zven's gonna die next. Woo. Quid is picking up so many, and it don't even look difficult. Finally, Licorice makes his way in, should be able to shut him down. Ayla hanging around a little bit too long, but probably not long enough to really get punished for it here. 100 Thieves 9-1, and they aren't done yet. Licorice gonna lose the Sterix there. That last little bit of damage over time does end up proccing the shield, so now he doesn't have that, but he will flash in. Nice play coming out from the Dignitas top laner to try to staunch some of this bleeding, but Sniper is looking to cause a whole new wound. Down here in bottom lane, the tier 3 is about to be taken out. Yeah, some players might walk away from that one, say, I'll come back and get it later. Not Sniper. He doesn't care if he's got to go. That turret is getting taken down, and he still makes his exit.
Yeah, gets the job done. On the top side, Jensen was able to take down a tier 2 as well, so they get something back. And important that Licorice was able to get those couple kills, get the shutdown kill, get another exit kill as well to try to get them some hope, some momentum. And it looks like the call is we're going to try to rush towards Baron here. There are no eyes on it right now for 100 Thieves, but River is in the area, and he's about to spot this out.
Desperation Baron coming in. Sniper here does have teleport to come in as well. It's kind of far away, you see on the mini-map, but he'll make his way.
There is no hostile takeover for Isles. The cooldown is still a little bit longer. If 100 Thieves goes in right now, Dignitas could have some serious problems. River's ready to go over the wall here with a blast gun. The Baron's going to be taken low and stolen away again. 100 Thieves takes the objective. Sniper finds the stun on Zven, and Dignitas falls to pieces. A double kill for the Jax as Licorice and Jensen run towards the enemy base. Is there even a way home for these guys? Jensen just going to get this wave shoved up. Licorice still trying to complete his back. I do believe the Gleaming Quill hit, but it was during the last little bit of the channel, so the recall still went through as Sniper and Ayla just going to wombo combo Jensen here a little bit. Jensen trying to make it a 1-for-1 at least, and he will, but it's still 4 dead on Dignitas, about to be 5. Quid is way too fed. There's your execution on the Dragon training. All of Dignitas is staring at black and white screens. Isles just now coming back to life. Zven about to respawn too. A 2v2 here in their own base, trying to save the Nexus turrets. But Quid hit so damn hard, dude.
That is crazy. That's 3 Qs just through the minions. Almost kills 2 of them. Quid is unstoppable now.
Quid is playing like he was when he got MVP, right? This dude is smurfing so far in this series. Tomo trying to get away from the Pillar of Flame is going to be caught by it. The continued slow means he needs to flash away to prevent being comboed down. Quid is completely unafraid of anything, though. He is ready to scrap with these guys.
This is more like the epic dragons of lore than the young child dragon that is the lore of Smolder. He's fully grown up. Level 17, already almost 300 stacks. The rapid fire annoyance has arrived. Dignitas really got to be looking at what changes they can make in the next game, because 100 Thieves have been an unstoppable juggernaut this game.
I feel like it's got to be Jensen on mages, right? It's
Orianna.
got to be Jensen on mages, right? It's like,
pull out the Orianna when in doubt. His most played, super high win rate. Got buffed on this patch. We'll see.
All right.
They have to change something clearly. 100 Thieves looking to put the finishing touches on this one. 4 members of the base. Snipers coming too, and those towers are low.
Yeah, the first one's already gone. Mom is going to divide the Dignitas lines. A quick grand entrance from Eyla sets up a couple, and it's so easy for 100 Thieves to knock them down. Isles and Licorice are way too low to keep on fighting right now. As more damage pours in from longer and longer range at a Quid, they finally shut him down. But that's nothing but a green light for the rest of the Thieves to end the game. They're on match point.
Not even 27 minutes in, the Smolder ends the game with 324 stacks as the last number I saw. Level 1 solo kill on Jensen. No, you did not mishear me. They fought to the death. Quid came out on top, and that really set the tone for the rest of the game because Quid was a monster, and 100 Thieves are rolling in this series.
Problematic stuff for Dignitas in this series, man. It feels so dire after these first 2 games. So much is going to have to change for them to bring this back. But a reminder to all y'all during the summer split, you could win a trip to Worlds 2024 or a set of 7 Player of the Week statues. That's one for every week of the regular season. Hell yeah. Use your MasterCard to make a purchase from the in-client store and save your card on file to be entered for a chance to win. Entry period runs from August 16th to September 7th. All right, Lounge, let's hear what you got to say. Break it down.
I refuse.
Dignitas is in trouble.
They are in trouble.
It's
They
not
are in
looking good
trouble.
for Dignitas.
Yeah, they are. They are digging themselves a hole in this series.
Just like the sign.
Yeah.
Just like the sign.
True.
Yeah, we have some highlights.
do.
It looks like we've glossed over the fact that Smolder got a level 1 kill against Zeri.
Yep.
But let's just roll it.
Smolder is in a great spot.
You know what? I agree with them. I don't want to see it either. Oh, this is, the Drake fight. This is
Yep.
tough.
So as we see here, Dig are getting set up. They kind of think they're in the clear. Mom only does hit Isles, but pause.
Yeah. What do we see?
Rewind a little bit.
It's a tiny bit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Eyla and River popping this ward, going over, jumping immediately on Zven, even with the Kalista ult pulling Isles back, right? Because like I said, Tomo is here. Quid has already dropped Mom and DPS Isles a bit anyway. And then Eyla and River are gonna come over here because Zven and Isles only have one way that they can go now and exit. And then Jensen is all the way over here.
Yeah, I think they made a poor decision right from the get-go where they tried to at least, basically when they're pulling out a dragon, they're going bot side.
Yep.
Where Xayah, Rakan, and Lillia are all free to open up on you. Whereas Zven, I think, I say Zven, I mean the Jensen, should be giving them space to walk through top side. So I actually just think they were just walking through the worst part of the map there.
Ooh, so this was, I think, a bait. This was Dig trying to do a proactive play, so check out the teleports coming in. But then let's watch how Sniper actually doesn't die. It's the heal from Rakan that keeps Sniper alive in this one. And this definitely made things a little bit worse for Dignitas. This is like the one time they expended so many resources, but like, look where on the map that is happening. It's just not a good start to the fight.
Oh yeah, context guys for you guys. He's already hit like 255 stacks at this point. Azael made it very clear in a positive way that he had like 70 stacks off laning phase alone. So Quid is already pretty set up for success post laning phase.
Yeah, and the big thing for me in a lot of these fights was just how ahead Smolder already was, right? Here, we see Mom come through.
Do we want to free
the Baron?
Yep.
Stop it!
Oh!
Back it up!
Rewind it.
Slow-mo Baron.
Actually,
let's go a little further back. How does he keep getting in?
That's a good question.
Okay, so this one he just blast cones.
Yeah.
And Dig is behind a lot here, so they're willing to just flip it.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I actually don't hate, right?
Okay,
if you're at this position in the game.
All right, let's roll it slow.
Yeah.
Watch this Baron health bar.
again.
Both junglers have
Mom
smite.
goes through. Ayla's gonna come in. Hits.
How low was it?
1K.
Yeah.
9.
He was there for a quarter second. He just didn't press the smite button.
That's tough. But I like the fact that Dignitas is just willing to flip it at this stage. The problem is they're getting far behind really early on in these games. This game, obviously we didn't show it. Level 1, you're falling behind.
Yeah.
Last game, basically the entire lane swap or first 15 minutes. They need to give themselves an angle in some of these games, and it just seems like 100 Thieves are just that much better.
Yeah, we can keep rolling through this at full speed. I think this is mostly what the game.
This was pretty much 100 Thieves like last gasp. As we see.
Taking a sip.
I like that tea. It's
yeah,
good.
I haven't had it in my life. I'm not really. I don't have an opinion.
If we're Dig, how do we recover, right? Because for me, a lot of this was decided not just off of that solo kill, but more importantly, Smolder had prio in that lane and got really far ahead very, very quickly.
Yeah,
and that was a deciding factor in a lot of their early skirmishes and team fights.
I agree. Jensen does need to play better. I like what they did, what Dig did in game 2 more than what they did in game 1, because before that disaster happened at the Dragon Pit, Zven was actually like 25 or 20 CS up on the Xayah Rakan. So they had a bit of an option for something to play through. But I just say try and pick at least 2 lanes of prio and give them the opportunity to do something, because otherwise they're not getting any kills.
That's where I will counter a bit, because I actually did think the swap set 100 Thieves in a much better position, right? So if you're trying to play around that Kalista lane, they weren't able to because of the lane swap coming through. And yeah, that was a little tough.
Yeah, and also, you mentioned lane swaps. I feel like, at least in game 1, they had the idea of being able to match. I think they just, if they feel like they're that much better in the 2v2 based off the comp they built, they need to look to blind swap, because, or at least blind match. Because they are getting completely destroyed in the swaps in both of these games. This game, it was like an experience advantage for the Jacks, but it's just something that has been happening throughout this series, just needs to get better.
Yeah, it has been a rough first 2 games for this guy and this team in general. Game 3 is coming up, but first, here's a quick word from you, Raz, on how the Samsung T9 SSD helps you keep things moving behind the scenes at the LCS. Ooh, he's happy.
Hey, it's Raz, and today is my favorite day, LCS game day. We use the Samsung T9 portable SSDs on game days to capture and store videos on stage and behind the scenes. We record content in a fast-paced environment, which makes turnaround times crucial. These drives have blazing fast transfer speeds, which allows us to move large files between devices quickly and efficiently. What's up, guys? Raz here, and I cannot wait for today's match.
Look what I've just made! The perfect pearl!
Not too bad, but check this out.
Whoa! A true Venus clam!
Red Bull gives you wings.
I can gags.
Check out code.
Yeah, Renekton is. Yeah. Nice. He's level 6, but. Play slow. Yep. I'll wait your W here. I'll go now. Yeah. I'm fine. I can kill him, I think. I got him. Nice. All you guys.
If you give me E, look at me. Kalista. I'm watching.
I can't reach.
I feel still.
It's don't die.
Maybe Renekton can be there. Okay, never mind. Renekton top.
I go bot.
Got you. He should just be dead.
They're gonna give him, looks like.
Oh, I might have fricked up.
Just don't die. Just don't die.
He's dead. Oh my gosh, my bad. Sorry.
Just don't die. He's dead.
Yeah.
Flash.
Dead to Smolder. Jackson flash, yeah.
That's all you guys.
I think they TP'd.
Don't see Renekton dead. Or Renekton bot.
I can go.
Renekton is slowly shifting mid, guys.
I can't reach, guys.
Done. Oh, okay.
Renekton going there, guys. I can slowly come.
Kalista dead.
Nice. Just go.
I'm gonna go
right now.
Just go.
Yeah, you can go whenever, Bill. I'm coming.
Store Baron.
I'm looking Zeri.
Still winning.
Come,
Winning.
Just
I'm
fight,
killing the
fight,
entire
fight,
Rakan.
fight.
Just fight. Go mid.
You guys can end mid,
Can
I
we
think.